Every body they found was frozen in place, eyes wide open, mouth stretched in silent terror, as if they had all seen the same thing at the exact same moment. The final distress signal didn't ask for help, it simply said, "All officers dead, I die," followed by something no one could understand. And the most disturbing part, nothing on that ship was physically wrong. In the afternoon on the deck of the Ourang Medan, Captain Hendrik van der Velde, the ship's captain, oversees routine work as the crew moves normally, talking and handling cargo, under a sky that feels unusually heavy. A few sailors quietly mention, "The sea has been completely still for too long, with no wind or movement, making the silence feel unnatural." Inside the radio room, the operator picks up a weak signal that fades in and out, not forming words but carrying a strained, uneven sound. He keeps listening longer than necessary, his expression tightening slightly, as if the sound is beginning to affect him, rather than just being heard. In the corridor, a crewman suddenly stops mid-conversation, his voice cutting off as he stares ahead without blinking. After a few seconds, he resumes, but his tone is off, and he avoids looking back at the exact spot he was staring at. Back in the radio room, the operator adjusts the frequency again, and the sound returns stronger, now steady and unavoidable. His hand slowly drops from the controls as he stops responding to his surroundings, his attention fully fixed on something only he can perceive. In the engine room, a mechanic suddenly recoils as if something has appeared directly in front of him, though the space is empty. His breathing becomes sharp and shallow, and he begins stepping back slowly, reacting to something that seems to be advancing toward him. Across the ship, more crew members begin reacting in the same way, pausing, staring, then slowly retreating from empty spaces, as if something is closing in on them. A few try to speak, but their voices break, and none of them are able to explain what they are seeing. On the deck, Captain Hendrik moves quickly between his crew, now visibly disturbed as several men stand rigid or back away in fear, from nothing. He realizes they are not just distracted, they are reacting to something specific, something each of them believes is directly in front of them. Inside the radio room, the operator begins transmitting, "All officers dead," his voice steady but stripped of emotion, as if he is reporting something already completed. Moments later, he adds, "I die," not as a cry for help, but as a final statement, as if something has reached him. Across the ship, the crew's fear reaches its peak, as their movements stop abruptly, their bodies locking where they stand. Their faces twist into the same expression, eyes forced wide, mouths pulled open in silent terror, as if in their final moments, whatever they were seeing, came close enough to overwhelm them completely. By late afternoon throughout the ship, every crew member is dead, their bodies left exactly where they stood or fell, with no signs of struggle or injury. Each face remains fixed in extreme terror, eyes open and directed toward different points in space, as the radio continues repeating, "I die," into the silent sea. The distress signal was not sent to report what had already happened. It was being spoken as each crew member experienced it, meaning the message was not a warning, but a record of the moment. Something moved from one mind to another, until there was no one left to receive it. If a signal like that reached you, quiet, incomplete, and already describing your end, would you keep listening, or stop before it understands you? And if this stayed with you, follow and comment, before the silence does.